Okay, Miss Maclaine, and of course, our subscribers, here's the answer to the next question. How did you prepare to ace the next generation NCLEX-RN test? Go! So let's talk about your preparations before, during, and then after the test. So what are the things that you did before the test?
So, basically, my exam would start around from 9:30 a.m. But
Onwards, okay.
I
What time did you wake up?
I woke up around 5 in the morning.
And then what did you do after waking up?
After waking up, I had mass
Mhm.
online. I had my novena and my rosary with my friends who will also take the exam this
Mhm.
coming May last week. And then after that, I went to the.
Did you have breakfast?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I just drank the psychotic.
Okay. So, get yourselves, okay, your psychotic. I tell you, it's FDA approved. It enhances your memory and mental stamina when you're taking the test. This is not a paid ad for psychotic.
Yes.
Take it. I also take it. Okay. So
Other
you took
than
the
that,
psychotic. And
Other
then,
than that, sir, I had a.
was it enough for the psychotic to sustain you all throughout your test?
Yes, sir.
It's just one glass.
Yeah, yes, sir. Like I had a 250 ml absolute with
Mhm.
psychotic,
Psychotic.
and then I divided into two. I had it before
Okay.
going to the center, and then before starting, I had the rest of the.
Okay. Then you took a ride.
Yes.
Going to the test center. And of
Yeah.
course, from there, my experience with Trident Towers is that there are a lot of employees who are also going to ride the elevator, and it takes so much time for you to queue up for the elevator. Was that the same experience as you had?
Actually, no, sir.
Okay.
I was
I'm
shocked.
so glad to hear.
Yeah, I was shocked because when I was there, I thought there would be a lot of people riding on the elevator, but I was shocked. But because 4 elevators are working.
Okay, that was great to hear.
Yeah, 4.
And so when you arrive at that, so was there a queue for the registration and the orientation? There was none?
None, sir.
Because if you arrive there less than 30 minutes, they have the option not to accept you.
Yes,
So make
that's
sure you
true.
have to arrive at least 30 minutes before your time, bringing only your passport. Wag matigas ang ulo. Don't be so hard-headed. Some people are saying, oh, but the instruction says that any government-issued ID would be acceptable. No, they only would base your identification on your passport. So you have to make sure that you have to have your passport with you.
Yes, that's
And then, from that moment on, when you did the preliminary verification, registration, so were you allowed to enter the test room on time, or you were allowed even before the scheduled time?
My exam time was 9, but since there are one available slot, they allowed me to enter as early as 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, so when you were there at 7:30, take us to that moment. What was the first thing that you did? Did you embrace the computer? Did you do the sign of the cross for the computer? What did you do?
Well, basically, sir, I just did what? They hand over me the whiteboard.
The whiteboard,
And the
you have
marker.
the marker and an eraser.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And then I sat, and then all of a sudden I wrote every mnemonics I could remember. But by that point, the computer did not start yet. So the proctor entered again and told me that you can only write when the computer starts. So I had to erase everything. Not actually erase. They even
Okay.
gave me a new set of whiteboards. So,
Okay.
oh my gosh. So maybe I missed some of the mnemonics I wrote
Okay.
on the first
Okay.
time.
And then take us to the time. So how was it navigating through the questions? How long did it take you on an average? Because most of those who take the test and pass would say you have to spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Especially there are minimum of 3 case studies that you will have on the test. Okay, you will have it on the first part, first 1/3, and then the middle third, and then the last 1/3 of the test. But please, to those who are taking the test, please specify your types of questions when you're sharing it to your friends. You don't label everything as case study because there's such a thing as matrix, bow tie. Okay, select N, meaning you are being asked to identify specific numbers of items that you will select. There are 18 different types of questions on the NCLEX, so don't say that everything is about case study. Of course, it's not. Okay, so case studies would come up minimum 3 times. First third, middle third, and the last third. And one case would usually be followed by 6 different items. That's already given. That's in public document released by the NCLEX. So, take us to that time. So, how long did you spend for each of those items? Pastors would say ideally you have to spend 10 to 15 minutes. Was it true in your case?
My answer would be no, because I am a fast test taker. I think that's what my major problem.
So it would depend on what type of reader and test
Yes,
taker
sir.
you are. Okay,
So, but like I can remember it vividly that my first question was a multiple choice question.
okay.
So I think
So it's not the case study type.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And then
But you had a case study for the first
Yes,
term
sir.
because that is what is
Yes.
actually in the public document released by the NCLEX.
If I'm not mistaken, I can remember it clearly that I had my first case study at number 20.
Okay, so it's actually the first term.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, after that, when you were navigating through the test and you have a combination of multiple choice and next generation NCLEX items, how did you feel? Did you get a little more anxious when you get to see the next gen items?
To be honest, sir, I didn't feel any anxious at all because
Wow,
it's somewhat,
confident.
it's somewhat the same with what we use.
So our strategies
Yes.
work. So it
Yes,
simply
sir.
means the things that you were exposed to here at the center, the technology-based instructional design that we have. So we're using the Regapo system technology. So everything is actually simulated in our system. So did it help that we
Yeah.
had an NCLEX simulator?
Yes, sir. And one secret, it's harder here than
Okay, a lot of test takers who pass the test would usually say our test items here at the Regapo system is a little more, it's actually a notch higher
Yes.
than the usual thing. So it wasn't a surprise for you at all to navigate through those things because you
Yes.
got desensitized with what
Yes.
we're doing here. Okay, and then what was going into your mind when eventually the computer shut down?
Basically, sir, I had my first break at question number 79 for 2 hours because that's the minimum hour to have a break. So you cannot actually raise your hands and ask for a break. No. The computer decides what number you will take a break, but at most you will be given a break for after 2 hours.
hours, okay.
And then I had my bladder break for around 5 minutes.
And
then-
let's remind them that the computer doesn't stop when you take your break.
Yes.
That time goes on.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then I still
So
had
don't
around
waste time.
I still had around 3 hours when I got back in the room, and then as after taking my bladder break, I had to continue my exam, and then all of a sudden after 15 minutes, my computer shut down after question number 85.
Excellent. So that's the minimum items. Now, here's the third and most important question that I'd like to ask you. So, most of the test takers would usually engage in the person view trick, and I tried to ask you if you have engaged in it, and you said no.
No.
But why did you not? That's the question I'd like you to answer on our next video. So thank you for listening. Watch out for our next video. She would answer if the person view trick is accurate. See you in our next video.